Hi there everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. You know what to do, hit the little bell if you like my content and you like this video. So I'm going to talk about emotions and men today in this video. This is an important topic, I think, to really address and to help create a little bit of education and clarity for a lot of people, both men and women. So I mostly work with heterosexual couples in my practice, and I hear this almost every day where the woman says to me that she would like her husband to be more expressive with his emotions, or she feels like her husband doesn't know how to handle emotions and will just stop talking and disengage. So this is something to be aware of in our modern, American, kind of society, is that men historically have been learned to be talked out of their emotions since they were a young child growing up. There may even be a little bit of shame going on in a kiddo's, family or through generational lies that create an environment where, these young boys are growing up in these households and they're being taught to really not experience their own feelings or their own thoughts and to be more reactive, or they are taught to be shamed by those statements of, stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about, stop being a pussy, stop being a wuss, don't be a girl. And all of those messages, basically translate to a little boy is that whatever it is that they're feeling isn't really important. And so fast forward to years later, they're stuck in this body and this mind and they feel things, but they don't understand what to do with it. So when I work with couples, instead of asking my males, what are you feeling? I actually say to them, what are you thinking? What do you see in your mind when you are thinking something? What do you visualize? Instead of asking you, how are you feeling? I want to know, what is it that you see in your head? What do you visualize? Almost like a movie screen. Because that actually can be more helpful to a male who has not really been allowed to feel in a long time, to basically say what they are visualizing, what is it that they see in their mind. So if you are, a partner or you are a close friend, and you feel like you hit a brick wall when you ask your friend, what they're feeling, switch that to, what do you see in your mind? What do you think? Most of the time, men tend to respond better when you ask them that question. And another important piece is that, in our society, men traditionally really only express a few emotions, and that could be, happy, anger, and possible even joy. So when it comes to, more mature feelings or more intense emotions, most men in our society don't really know what to do with that. And so what happens is they kind of internalize that, or they shut down. They stop talking, they may disengage. It also can internalize into utilizing alcohol or drugs that will numb their feelings so they don't feel all of these feels. Because if somebody doesn't know how to manage all of these different feels, what they're going to want to do is to shut down. They're going to want to numb them because, it kind of feels like you got hit by a tidal wave, but you don't understand what the tidal wave is and where it's coming from. And also you don't have the skills to ride the wave. So what happens is people end up drowning. So a little bit of this is giving this person space and permission to just kind of take a minute, take a breather, and to better assess kind of what that person is experiencing in the moment. And then you kind of take them from there. And I would strongly say that if you have a friend or a colleague or a partner that has a hard time expressing themselves, that they get into therapy and they start learning how to recognize their thoughts, feelings, and behaviors, because they're all very different. And what I tell people is you are allowed to feel and think whatever you feel is right for you. You are not your thoughts, because your thoughts can change. You are not your feelings, because your feelings can change. And so you are allowed to feel and think whatever it is that you want. There's nothing wrong with your thoughts or your feelings. And I would hope that whatever environment that you are in, that you are not being shamed for how you feel. And that's kind of that stepping stone, is giving permission to just feel whatever that may be. Whatever those thoughts are, that's a-okay. The difference here is obviously whatever the behavior is. So, if we have a thought and we have a feeling and then that turns into a negative action, then that's not okay, right? So that's kind of where I draw the line. But it's really important that we create a safe environment for our men in our society to basically learn how to recognize, identify, and feel those feelings, and then come into a conversation with how they're thinking and how they're feeling without being shamed. So if you have any questions, comments, feelings, actions, reactions, definitely comment them below, reach out to me. I'd love to hear your perspective. Thanks.